And we are live. Imagine waking up with abilities you can't explain. In the heart of South London, five ordinary people are discovering they can travel through time, turn invisible, move objects with their mind, and run at super speed. But this isn't a comic book, and nobody is putting on a cape. They still have bills to pay, lives to live, and a mysterious high-tech agency tracking their every move. They don't find each other and unite. And if they don't, they won't survive. This is Supercell. Let's dive in. Oh yeah, let's take the title, Sabrina. Ooh.
All right. So what Supercell has done is they've given each of the five main characters who have their kind of own storylines, self-titled episodes. And so Sabrina is our only female in the faction of the primary five. And so this is her episode, our resident anti-Shiro with telekinesis. No, I'm saying anti because she doesn't want it. She does not want it. She doesn't want it at all. Like, I didn't ask for this.
Well, good. That actually leads straight into my first question. Sabrina's fear of her own abilities. If you will, can you contrast Sabrina's desire for normalcy with Rodney's gig economy mindset? What are your thoughts about that?
So Sabrina, first and foremost, she's in the healthcare field, right? And so her natural desire is to be helpful to others. And so I think she's afraid of having too much power, like to some degree it's sacrilegious. And just kind of, again, literally just afraid of herself. So rather than rise to the occasion, I kind of want to hide from it. Whereas Rodney, the 2-bit hustler, the world's worst drug dealer, already lives this fast lifestyle, but he's getting absolutely nowhere doing it. He wants to monetize this supernatural gift of his to the best of his ability, because he's like, hey, this selling weed thing, and I'm really not a great salesman. Let's just be honest. I'm really the world's worst drug dealer, much like I feel like Jacob is a horrible cop, but I'm going to leave that in that show. I put him and Rodney on the same scale of this is just not your niche. It's not. Leave it alone. Don't do it. So all of that rambling to say, you have Sabrina juxtaposing the two, of the power that she has and does not want it, and you have Rodney that is excited, elated, and a bit reckless with the power he has and wants to flaunt it.
So Rodney to me is the quintessential guy from the suburbs who is now thrust into a world that he's unfamiliar with, and he's doing his best, but it ain't working. And so it's just so funny to watch him. All right, so let's move.
It's definitely comical watching him.
Yeah. So Sabrina nearly kills a patient before Sister Shirley intervenes. This highlights how superpowers disrupt professional focus and compound real-world anxieties. So this is what I want you I want you to answer this question. Is the physical stress of manifestation actually making these heroes, namely Sabrina, a danger to the people they care for?
100%. Simply because it's not like, first and foremost, they did not know that they harbor these abilities from the beginning, or was put with some type of mentor or big brother or big sister to say, hey, here's how you hone in this power. There's no training academy for them. It's just it's just boom. One day I'm upset and I done damn near killed my ex-boyfriend when I caught him cheating, right? So the physical stress of trying to hide the ability is, one thing. And again, just not knowing how to steward it properly because there hasn't been no formal training. And so you are absolutely a danger to your lay people, the people that are, in her case, your patients, your friends, family, everybody is at risk.
Yeah. Even when I think about Tazer, his best friend at risk, it's like everywhere. Everyone, Michael, his fiance at risk, you name it. It's like having these abilities, it's great, but what are the downfalls? What are the pitfalls of having these particular abilities? All right, so let's move. When Rodney met up with Spud at the diner, by the way, I don't know how I feel about Rodney and Spud. I don't know. It was
Like they
like
got a
one
little,
moment.
like they
Huh?
got, like they got a little homoerotic undertone going
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. So Rodney decided to offer a customer a deal where he would arrive in a certain amount of time, and if he didn't, that person would get the drugs for free. So this is my question. Is Rodney being an ethical user of the powers he has been given, or is he justified in his use given his circumstances?
Can we even bring ethics into play?
Of course.
Ethics, morality. Um, this is completely unethical, immoral, all the things. And so, but he's a drug dealer. He's already unethical and immoral. So to me, for Rodney, this is right on brand. And I don't know if I'm answering this question the way that you would like me to answer it. But again, this is right on brand for him. Now, as far as it being justified, no, but it's expected.
And quite comical. I love. I anytime Rodney is on, I'm like, come on, make me laugh. I'm ready for him to make me laugh.
And,
So
and
stupid.
friend, for you to treat it like Godfather's Pizza or any of the other pizza places back in the day. Hey, if we don't get it to you in 30 minutes, it's free. It's like, I love that. I love that.
Okay. So let's let me ask you this question. Sickle cell. The fact that this sickle cell, this mutation of a disease, is giving these people these abilities. And then you also have this shadowy organization working behind the scenes. For what purpose? We don't know. Even after watching the whole season, we don't know. But let me ask this question. Does this suggest the shadowy organization has found a way to erase the disease while retaining the mutated superpower?
Let me make certain that I'm understanding the question the way that it's been formed. Have they figured out a way to cure sickle cell while still keeping the power?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I want to say maybe not cured sickle cell, more so than, I guess, harnessed it in order to be able to weaponize it for some later use that we don't know yet. I don't know if they've cured the mutation versus also this made me think, are they putting the mutation in people? Because there's so many of the people, I mean, which we know that sickle cell is common in African Americans anyway, but are they using the mutation and infecting people that would have not ordinarily been carriers for it? I don't know, just a thought.
It is a thought. I don't know if we necessarily have evidence of that. I'm not to discount what you're saying. I'm not discounting what you're saying. I just, so far we haven't found evidence of that. But lead technician says they would say, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's move. Crazy. Do you remember Crazy?
Crazy?
Mm-hmm. Char's boyfriend, if you will.
The one who has the ability as well.
Mm-hmm,
Not the one that tries to assault the sister in the back of the club, but
yes. So Crazy is described as a different breed. He gifts Charlene a diamond watch and controls the local drug trade despite his criminal record. Okay. Not only is Crazy homicidal, a drug dealer, a womanizer, but he also beats on women. Is the shadowy organization intentionally releasing dangerous superheroes like Crazy to harvest the streets?
I'm gonna say 100%. And so I'm still wondering like what their complete end game is, but why would you take somebody like Crazy as opposed to putting him in the lab and just studying him like the rest of the lab rats. It's very strategic. You leave him on the streets to just complete chaos, and angst as it pertains to the streets of South London. So 100%. 100%. And so they also are using him to draw some of the others out,
Yes.
um, that are kind of flying under the radar.
What I thought was so brilliant about having Crazy out into the streets, I don't know if it was necessarily
He's fine too.
I don't know if it was necessarily what he does in the streets. I think it had more to do with his ability, because if someone used their ability on him, he was then able to copy their ability, which made him the perfect patsy, if you will, for their aims. You know what I'm
So
saying? He could defend himself by using their abilities, while at the same time, if they use it on him, he could say, hey, this person has the ability.
I like that because we've seen that like power siphoning in other supernatural shows that we've watched. So what was it in the Gemini clan on, what was it? I don't know if it was Legacies. It was something, or was it no? What was that thing on it? Not the originals. Vampire Diaries
Yeah,
might
yeah.
might have been one of the spin-offs, but yes.
All right, so a little bit later in the episode, Shar and Sabrina decide that they're going to go out. While they're out, Shar is approached by a lovely young man with goals in his mouth.
Beautiful, beautiful hair, beautiful language, luring her in.
Yeah. Seems perfect. Seems so perfect. So Shar decides to go into an alley. He thinks that they're about to have sex. He gets upset that she says no. By the way, I was so impressed with Shar because I thought she would have said, yeah, let's go for it. But she was like, no, you think I'm going to do this in an alley? Who do you think I am?
Yeah.
So he's like, I hate women like you who, do X, Y, and Z and all that other good stuff. So Kadeem forces himself on Charlene before revealing his ability to fly. Sabrina's telekinetic response was highly destructive. Question: was she protecting her sister, or did her deep-seated rage toward predatory men override her training as a healer?
That was a lot. So I'm gonna say both. The rage was still there. She hasn't been able to process completely the betrayal from the boyfriend completely, how she used her ability that she didn't even know she had on him. And I'm seeing my sister be attacked in an alley. And so all of my medical training is going to go out of the window whenever I'm reacting on raw emotion. Yes, I'm a healer by nature and all of these things. And so if I'm not bothering you, you're not bothering me, I'm not going to bother you. I don't just go out to hurt people. And so this is my family. So I think she was completely justified in the way in which she handled it, because after she calmed down slightly, she checked his pulse. and I do honestly believe, had he still been breathing, to some degree, she would have probably patched him up just enough, or stabilized him or what have you, because she didn't want to kill him, but again, raw emotion.
So this is what I think. So in that particular moment, what happened was, yes, she used her shoes, she hit him, she got him down, he was alive. It wasn't until he used his ability. Okay, you're gonna use your ability, I'm gonna use mine. But guess what? She didn't know her own strength. She didn't know her own power. She knocked him into the wall. It was his fault. Because at the end of the day, she was still protecting herself.
Right. And he was using his ability to be a predator. And so 100% agree with you. His fault.
It was kind of like that scene where Tazer, that scene with Tazer where he had to fight the guy. When the guy got beat, he was like, give me the gun, give me the gun, give me the gun. It was kind of like that. It was like, okay, you beat me, I feel shame, so now I'm going to use my ability on you. So to me, it was kind of like, oh yeah, you got punked, and because you got punked, now you want to escalate it. Man, just let it go.
Take
Just
your
go on.
L and live to fight another day.
All right. So Kadim's death triggers a subcutaneous sensor, something in his skin, and an automated video surveillance scans were made by this shadowy organization. How does this reveal that the heroes are living in a digital world, if you will, where their every move is monitored? How did this affect the storyline, and what did it make you think in that particular moment?
So like with that, it's still it obviously you're doing these tests and all of these things against these people's will. That's one. So you already are up to no good, right? So the fact that there was a tracker inside of this man, and you guys clearly know he is a predator. Again, to your point earlier, you're releasing these people into society and allowing them to do all of these heinous things. Um lets me know that you're drawing out again the other people with the ability and able to kind of connect the dots and see where they are to bring them in for further study or whatever it is that you plan on doing with them. And so essentially nothing is private. We're tracking everything and everybody at all times, like even down to the ATM scene with Andre. I think in maybe episode 2, they're watching everything, they're everywhere.
Okay. All right. So a little bit later, Michael's girlfriend, she's doing like a random check, yada yada yada. She talks to Mrs. Emerson, who is Tazer's grandmother, who basically tells her that Tazer's mom left because she was doing things that humans shouldn't do. This introduces for us a theological and ethical debate over transhumanism. This is my question for you. Does the show view these genetic mutations as a step in human evolution or an unnatural, destructive aberration?
I don't think they see it as evolution at all, because anytime we, and when I say we, I mean human beings, see something as unnatural, we got to cut it open, study it, get the get the better end of it, because no one should have this much power. So, 100%, definitely not at all seeing it as evolution, more of a threat that needs to be neutralized and or controlled.
Now, when you say that, who or what is making you feel that?
So you send in this agency or whatever to make it seem like you're helping this person or whatever. It's very strategic, very very sly. um and so apparently you're able to see these people or have just seen them display these evolved abilities, right? And so no, we need to get them off the street and control them. I'm trying to see. So it still is going to go back to like putting those the crazy ones back out there to draw the other ones out. So I'm standing behind the curtain like the Wizard of Oz pulling the strings, but I don't see it as an evolution. It's a threat. It is a threat because you have them locked up in these chambers, and again against their will. If you try to escape, you buck the system, we kill you.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
if you were evolved, or we viewed it as evolution, in some sense, we would be able to use that for the army or whatever. You'd have some type of choice or whatever, or we could use this in some type of way to be helpful to society, or either worship these people like gods. But you're not doing that. You're taking them. I'm serious. You have all of this ability. This is godlike. So you should be our world leaders, protecting the people at large. But that is not what they're doing.
So I don't really see it that way. What? This is the way that I see it. I see it that the shadowy organization is afraid of these people with powers to the point where yes, they want to get them off the streets, and yes, they want to study them. But for me, I see it as the normal course of evolution. And because of the normal course of evolution, of course, these scientists, of course, the government, of course, these shadowy organizations are going to want to limit it, especially if it's happening with Black people. How dare they? You know, can we replicate this? Can we give this to other people? You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff, especially when what's his name, Andre said, other people, first of all, that was the first time I'd ever heard that other people outside of the Black race get sickle cell, but it's predominantly found in African Americans. That was the first time I'd ever heard that. I did not know that. So that's kind of sort of how I see it. Anytime someone far exceeds the human ability, I can anticipate that is what's going to happen.
And how absolutely poetic that it is people of color that far be it that you get a leg up. Oh no, we got to beat you right back down. Can't have that. We can't have that in general, but especially not with you.
All right, so Michael is a delivery driver, and he's trying to track down Andre, Sabrina, and Rodney. Remember, he at a certain point he did track down Tazer. Can you tell me, is, in your own opinion, just real quick, yes, no, maybe so, I don't know, is Michael a leader? Is he a good leader? I shouldn't say a leader, but is he a good leader?
Yes, I think he is.
Okay. Why should these total strangers risk their lives and abandon their personal survival struggles to save a woman they don't even know?
Ooh, that is a good question, because why would you? But if we look at it, how much do y'all really have going on anyway? And so why not be a service to all mankind? Because ultimately, this is going to affect you. Whether you decide to help or not help, it's going to affect you. And I will venture to say it's going to negatively affect you. So why not, put your efforts toward supporting Michael, even though you don't know the girlfriend or what have you, because you don't know what else is coming.
I think what was so messed up was that Michael never knew why that organization was coming for them. He just knew that they were. And it wasn't until he met up with Michael that he found out, yes, they are indeed, coming for them, and they're tracking them. But it was almost like it was the wrong person. Did I say Michael? Rodney. When Michael saved Rodney, it was the wrong person. It was Rodney, of all people. It's like Rodney's gonna think about self before he thinks about anything else.
Yeah. A businessman. And I do use air quotes.
All right. Was there anything in this particular episode that I missed that you wanted to talk about?
I do wish that we would have gotten, I know it's probably going to sound like really greedy, but a little bit more Sabrina, just kind of how I felt in the episode of Tazer. We needed a little more Tazer in the Tazer episode, but I guess I can just leave it be. I do empathize with a lot of these characters, and probably more than most. I do want to say it's the father, Andre. Okay. I feel like he's, they all have the horrible struggles that they're dealing with, but I empathize with him a lot, and especially since he has the son, and the son, he's trying to keep him out of from up under the thumb of the gangs and all of this, but he is just getting dog walked by life. Anyway, that's it.
Okay. So, let's rate this particular episode from Mayfair to 10. What do you give it?
A 6.
Okay.
From Mayfair to 10, probably a 6.
Want to tell us why?
Again, maybe a little bit more Sabrina in the Sabrina episode. Some of the parts were a little bit flat for me. Again, overall, still really like the show. But yeah, maybe around a 6 for me. But perhaps I'm giving that rating for the very reason that we discussed earlier with the other things that I'm consuming. And so trying to just take it for what it is, where it is right now, my brain is landing at about a 6.
And for me, I would give it a 7, and I would give it a 7 because we see the development of these particular characters, and they are learning their abilities and they're using them at will. They're no longer at this beginner stage. And I think that is awesome. I think that this is progressing the storyline. I think we're going to get, well, obviously we already know we're going to get into the meat of the story. And so that's why I give it a 7. And while they were showing us that these people are learning their abilities, the storyline, the overall storyline is starting to connect at this particular point. And that's why I give this particular episode a 7. For those of you all who are still watching, on Sunday, we're going to be covering Beyond the Gates. On next Wednesday, we're going to be covering the Vampire Lestat, the upcoming episode. And then on next Thursday, instead of Supercell, we're going to be covering House of the Dragons, the first episode. So if you're interested in us covering any of these shows, please tune in again. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share on all your social media. Y'all have a good one. We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.